Good morning. This is the first segment of a tour of our land. I'm going to start with the borders. Right now I'm in the southwest corner of our land. Up that way there is 3 neighbors, but 2 of them are in campers and one of them has a little shack that he uses for hunting. It's not really a residential road. There's some other things about this road I'll do in videos a little bit later. Some pretty interesting stuff going on with this road. This right here, some beautiful forest up in here. This is owned by a cooperative of a group of landowners that live down in the hollow. Everything here is a ridge or a hollow. All right, let's start walking the border. We just purchased this land here, not last November, but the November before. We knew the people, or we know the people we bought it from. They bought their land right after we bought our original lot, and we've been friends all these years. So we bought it from them, and this is where my machine shed's actually on this land, and not quite sure what's all going to go on with this land, but it's I think it's 6 acres, 5 acres, somewhere around there. It's 2 lots of the original subdivision. You know, it's hard to think of subdivision when you're way the hell out in the country, but that is how, you know, when they subdivide the original 40s and whatnot, it is a subdivision. Yeah, a lot of the trees in this area are dead. That emerald ash borer came through here. You could see a couple here, and then they start getting vine covered. You can see a few down there as well. I don't know if those are ash or not. They don't look like it, but there's lots of dead ash throughout the place. I'll show you kind of a typical. They start looking bizarre like this. You can see the dead trees get vine covered, and they look like some kind of otherworldly tree. I have black flies all over me, so I'm going to get some spray on before we hit the other side of the road. The west pasture is right through here, and we have a big ravine between me and the west pasture. And we're coming up on the first full-time neighbor, which just built 2 years ago, and they kind of plopped their house down facing directly at our house. So it's just really weird. We pretty much hate it. They're up there through the brush. So we share a lot line with one of the neighbors back of me. One neighbor that way, and then these neighbors here, and then 2 of them across the road, I believe. And then there's more further down, which I'll get to when we get that way. But we have a cornfield right here. Or no, actually, I think they're growing some kind of hay or cereal grain. We have sustained 20 to 25 mile an hour winds with gusts over 30 today, so it's pretty windy up here on top of the ridge. But so I'm going to skip filming for a little bit, and I'm going to head, the lot line goes somewhere right along here. This lot line hasn't been surveyed. We've had some of the other ones surveyed or found pins and stuff. So it pretty much goes straight through there, back behind the barn. I'm going to pick up over there. Okay, I'm back behind the barn now. This is that toilet garden that I showed earlier. We got to get in here and weed today. We have some company coming this weekend, so got to kind of spruce the place up. But this is the barn. We actually lived in that for a while the boy and I built the house, but I'll show that in a different video. I'll show the design and the plans and all that stuff, and we have mostly still photos of building. So, and this is where we took a shower we used that for about 4 years, I believe, 5 years. And last year we didn't use it, and this corner here heaved in the winter. It was never built for frost or anything. It was supposed to last, I don't know, like 2-3 years. It was made out of scrap wood from building other things, and now it's history. Got to tear it down in the fall. But back to the tour. The boundary crosses the road up here where I showed you earlier, and then plunges into the woods. Oh geez, I just had some kind of an animal spook right next to me. I am not exactly sure where this border line is. I have a better idea. See, we know the person who owns the land this way. She's an old neighbor of ours from back when we lived in the city. But I believe the lot line is right over here somewhere. It'll get all a bit clearer once I get down the hill a bit. I'm trying to find a good spot to head down. There really is none. We almost never come over this way. There's one of the old savanna trees. I had no idea this was here. See, we just don't. This part of the lot, or this part of the land, we just never did anything on because it's too inconvenient. It's like a deer run through here. At some point, I'll get to the ravine, and then I can kind of tell where we're at. I know this light patch right over here. That is from, oh geez, when the hell was that? Like 08 maybe, or 07. There was a big wind came through and took down a ton of trees. flattened some farm fields, took down a bunch of barns. It wasn't a tornado, it was a straight line wind. Yeah, it looks like deer are bedding down all through here. We have a deer stand right over that way, not too far. It's very odd that there's this much light in here and there's not more blackberry. Usually wherever you got a lot of light, the blackberry, there's some right there. The brambles just go crazy. It's kind of nice. Yeah, I haven't been through here. We chased a deer, or not chased, but we had to go get a deer that was shot. See, we have a ravine that splits our property. In half over here. And the deer ran through here onto the other, or no, he shot the deer on the other side. Shot from this side and shot it on the other side. And we came down here with a wheelbarrow. There was no other way to get it out of here except carrying it, and you know, that gets tedious. Oh, you know what? There is another Savanna tree. If you haven't checked out the Savanna project, it's still in its infancy. I've got to get in here and identify all the old Savanna trees. There's one right there. Look at the roots on that thing. But it looks like a maple. I believe it is a maple. And its Savanna days are so far gone. You could see all the dead limbs going up, where it got surrounded by other trees and had to compete again. Okay, this land right here, unfortunately, is a neighbor's up this way, and I'm just on the edge of his land. I probably should have crossed the ravine. Our land starts again right here. Actually, I think I see a flag down there. These flags are very old. See, our land takes a few odd jogs through here, so it's pretty hard to know where the boundaries are. These rocks down in the ravine are just awesome. I'm going to have to get down there and show that sometime. We had a big flood here a couple years ago, and that washed the moss off of all the rocks, but it has since made a return. The moss just makes it look pretty cool down there. Okay, we are in the dark forest. This is our land again. Sorry for the little jog, but there's just no way I'm going to go down and across that ravine today. Okay, our land goes straight through here. I'll walk right where I believe the edge is. We got to get in here and survey this. What we'll do is just put in T-posts without, we don't need any wire on them, but we'll put T-posts every 20 feet just to mark our land. Okay, this property, there's another Savanna tree, if I can get this to aim correctly. There's another Savanna tree right there, and that one still has, you can see the bottom branches are dead, and this is fairly crappy woods through here. But that is a neighbor's land. And he also owns the land right at the very beginning when I was showing you that corner. He owns the land at the end of that road as well. But there's actually a rock ledge up the hill there that is part of his land. It's pretty awesome. We would love to buy this land, but there's actually 3 properties that we would like to get, but we just don't have the money for it right now. We have already bought 5, and we, try not to get too far in debt. That is pretty awesome. Couldn't tell you what it is, though, other than being a mushroom. This is one of the Savanna trees, and it's fallen long ago, but still pretty cool looking, even dead. Pretty damn thick through here, and most of this is, again, maple. The little baby trees are mostly maple, and the ash. Ash was actually the first thing that repopulated this, and then maple has taken over since the ash now died. I mean, we got some pretty big, tall trees, timber-worthy trees in here, right here as well. So if we were to restore any of this area, we got some lumber trees to make a few bucks. This looks like an oak right here. Newer one, though. Yeah, it's a beautiful woods. I don't think I've been over here in, it's been years. 4 years? 5 years? That time we got that deer was the last time. So this whole boundary, it drops down into the big hollow down here. This whole boundary is bounded by that one guy. I see a red bird. Is that oh, it looks like it is a red-headed woodpecker. Those are pretty rare. Let's see if we can catch him. We have a shit ton of woodpeckers around here, including the, let me say that again. We have a shit ton of woodpeckers around here, including the pileated woodpecker, which is a giant, crazy looking woodpecker. And we have these red-headed woodpeckers, but you almost never seen them. I've only seen one twice. And he's probably still on, yeah, there he goes. He must have a nest in one of these trees here. I actually believe, oh, there he is. Oh, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know if you can even see that. He's all red with black wings. See him? Right there. I thought it might be an eastern towhee, but I only know the birds that come to our feeder for the most part. Or if I spot one in the woods, I'll look it up. Yeah, our lot line is actually up a little higher. I drifted down a bit. That's one of the pitfalls of not having it marked, especially when your neighbors all have, their lot line is in the middle of the damn woods as well. So I really got to get this surveyed. I might be able to do it myself. I know there's apps and stuff for that, but we do not, there's no cell service in these woods. We're down in a hollow right now, or on the side of a hill, and there's very few towers to start with, so it's kind of a dead zone in here. This is an old logging road. You can see the skid track going down that way. That goes down to one of our deer stands is down that way. Yeah, I was hoping to spot a flag or two. Once we get down, to the bottom of the hollow, it's obvious down there where it is. In fact, it's a lot easier starting there and then walking up, because the lot line is marked at the road down there. There's an old logging road that I maintain so that I can drive on it, and where our lot line ends on that road, it is marked. There's another suckering ash, green ash. That is, it's dead, long dead, from the emerald ash borer, but it suckered way back when somebody cut the original tree. That's a big ass tree right there, and I do believe it is on our land, but that's the thing, you can't cut trees if you don't know if they're on your land or not. I don't know if I'd want to cut this or not anyways. This is an oak. Holy shit, that's a nice sized tree. That's a valuable tree. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's like a veneer log. It's a good 30 feet up to the first branch, and oh geez, 24 inch. Yeah, that's definitely an oak veneer log. At some point I will run out of battery, and then I'll try to pick up the next segment from there. Yeah, this corner's always been quite the tangle. It's actually not a corner, it's the south, part of the south lot line. Okay, now it drops down pretty steep, though. I could see the bottom down there. Yeah, there's some pretty decent sized trees in here. Really big cherry tree, black cherry, rotted and fell. Hopefully I have enough battery to get down to the ravine there, because that would be a a real nice place to pick up next time. Yeah, you can see, I don't know if that was fire burned or not, but that one is black like that too. I think it's just rot, but the area used to burn back in the day. Oh, this is a mess down here. See, the thing is, I need to get across this ravine, and I gotta find a relatively easy place to do it. See, I got a drop off right here, and this has all changed a bit, the topography, over the years, because we've had some we've had one gigantic rain, and that one really changed the landscape around here. All right, I think I can get down right here. Okay, this is a logging road. Well, trying to get this camera to focus. This is a logging road that runs up to the highway, up that way, about a half mile. And this is the bottom ravine, which also runs up to that highway. We are just a touch off of our land onto the neighbors. Got zigzagged in there. You can see where the water running down the road is creating a brand new ravine here. See, I maintain my road right down here, but I haven't done it in a couple years, so I won't be seeing it, or I'll be seeing it for the first time right now. That's our land right across the, this is our land right here, right across the ravine. You can see this washed out pretty good. All of these boulders here came rolling down the hill from that rain. It was that heavy of a rain. It was over 18 inches overnight. So we are back on our land. This is the border runs up through here. And this is where our road crosses the ravine. And I leave it like this without an actual crossing, because it crosses and then goes onto somebody else's land. Yeah, all these rocks here are fairly polished now, but they had really thick, heavy moss on them for years since we bought the place. You know, like this. And then that big rain polished everything. This whole area was underwater. I mean, the water was real deep here and rushing real fast. If you were camping down here, you were dead. But nobody was. This area up here is where we find puffballs all the time. And that's where I'll pick up on the next one. We are approaching one of the corners. It would be the southwest corner, which is up over this rise. Then there's another ravine, which is up over this rise, then up the side of the next ridge, and then there's a fence line there, and that's the corner, and then it goes up that way, oh, I guess maybe 1,000 feet or so. But I'll come back and we'll do that one tomorrow. But this is our bottomland, and let me see if I can get this to point the right way. There we go. Our house, well, actually, our house is that way. It is 210 odd feet up. Yeah, it's really beautiful down here. I've walked on this road. I was putting out a salt block one time, and I came around this corner. I was dragging the salt block on a sled, a deer sled, and I stopped, and I'm standing here. Oh, I must have been standing here for maybe 10 minutes because I was thinking of what I want to do down here. And a deer just walked out of the woods. A doe walked out of the woods not 20 feet from me, and they can't see you if you don't move, especially during the day. They don't see very well during the day. So the deer is standing there, and the wind was going the wrong way, so she couldn't smell me, she couldn't see me because I was standing still. So she just stood there and browsed while I watched her for a good 10 minutes, and I was starting to get sore from standing there. And then the wind shifted a little bit. She sniffed a little bit, stomped her feet, and jumped into the woods. All right, that'll be it for today. I'll get back to this tour right here where it crosses the ravine, and then we'll go up over the, hard to get this thing to point where I want. We'll go up over this little ridge here and continue the journey. But for now, I got company coming a little bit later, and I gotta go work on the tractor, the TO20. Got some news on that, and what else? No, that's about it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you click on the update button, you'll be notified when I upload new videos. I try to upload every day. I believe I have, except for maybe one day when I was super sick. Sometimes I upload 3 times a day. So click on that update button. It looks like a little bell, and you'll be notified when I do upload. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great day.